What's going on with you guys? We're back for another video. Under risking is just as dangerous as over trading. I want to talk about this because this is very important to me, because I actually did the other thing, which is the under risking. What I'm going to talk about in this video is when you just in the account and you want to keep the account safe, but you're always lowering your risk, and then you're not getting that gains that you're wanting. Because I never really focused on the over leverage. That wasn't really my problem. My problem was really on the other side of thing, where I was risking less, having to trade more, and that becoming a problem. And I want to have this video because I think people need to talk about how we say risk less is like so much better than you over trading, but they equally as bad, right? They may have two different results, but ultimately the same is the end goal. How you get there is you're not a profitable trader, or you're not the trader you want to be. One, you blew the account, and the other one, you're just in the account stalling, and that can play on your mental toll and being frustrated inside that account because you're in the account way too long, X, Y, Z, and you're not getting the profits you're needing or wanting. So I think that both ultimately are not the trader that you want to be, but how you get there is two different ways. So I want to have some more clarity how you can do that, and just want to speak more about it. So we're gonna jump into the video. Most traders told one thing over and over again: risk less. And while that advice is important, it's incomplete, because what no one talks about is this: you can actually hurt your progress by trading or risking too little. And if you're not careful, being too safe can lead you to the exact same outcome as over trading, blowing your account. So that frustration starts building up and you're not getting to the count. You're gonna ultimately get there, but just by a different way. Safe trap. At some point in your trading journey, you realize that over leveraging is dangerous. So you adjust, you start risking less, and you become more cautious. At first, that feels like progress, but then something happens. Your account starts growing. You're taking trades, and you're following your plan, but nothing's really changing. And over time, that creates frustration. If it creates frustration, what do? Now the emotions start coming in. So then, if the emotions start coming in, you might necessarily just blow up on one more trade. So you didn't necessarily overtrade, because you really did big on one trade, and then you try to get that profit in one day. But ultimately, you leading into the fact that it's going to start creating these bad habits that you don't want, right? And again, I said the same way of you overtrading the account, where you really blow the account one day. It's just like this slow. I don't even want to call it this slow. It starts playing with your mental, where it's like I'm not getting no traction in the account, but I'm keeping the account safe. So it's like I want to keep doing it, but you just really in this rut that you really don't want to be in, because it's like, yeah, I'm keeping the account safe, but I know I need to get some more progress. I'm scared to get some progress, because if I do that, then I'm gonna be over leveraging. But am I really over leveraging? You just start playing. So it's like a mind game for being in the account for so long. So this is why I thought this video, because this video is really very helpful, because this is something I struggle with. The frustration starts to build up. You start thinking, I'm doing everything right, so why am I not getting anywhere? And the frustration slowly builds in the background, because even though you're being disciplined, you're not being meaningful profits. You're not seeing meaningful progress, and that's where things get dangerous. That is where you really want to talk about the meaningful progress, and not just progress, but meaningful, impactful. The breaking point. Eventually, most traders hit the breaking point. They get tired of slow growth. They get tired of seeing small gains that don't move their account. And one day, they decide to go bigger. They increase their risk. They take a larger position. They try to speed things up. That one decision can erase weeks and months of progress. I've done it before. Tell me if I'm lying. I have done it before. If you're a trader, you know what I'm talking about. You risk more of that one trade, and somehow, of course, the market shows you the reason you don't overtrade or risk a lot, and you lose that trade, right? And now all these weeks and months and all this time, this progress, you start boiling up, and you start getting mad. You're like, you know what? When next time I get in the account, I'm gonna go back risking less. And then you get in the same cycle and spinning, and you like, it's you want to be able to find a yin to yang. You want to be able to find a balance to where you can have a growth, or you have idea where I need to go heavy, because you start realizing it's not necessarily the risk. And it's good that you're risking less and being disciplined, but it's not necessarily the risk is the problem. The problem is when you're going to risk more. So you need to have an idea of when I'm going to risk more, necessarily not when I'm going to risk the same amount. Meaning, if I had different days that I'm doing, I'm going to talk about this more in the video, but different days I'm going to risk higher, and different days I'm going to risk less. That way, I'm alternating when I am going to put more capital on the table. And that's something I'm being more disciplined. I'm trying to get better, because it does feel weird at first, but I'm really trying to get better at that. The truth about under risking. Under risking creates a different kind of problem. It doesn't destroy your account immediately. It slowly builds frustration until you make an emotional decision. So while it feels safe, it's actually setting you up a future mistake. You get upset at the fact that you're not getting any profits, any gains in the account, and it's taking you forever to pass the account, or it takes forever to we're talking when you pass after you pass the account, and you're not getting no traction that you were wanting. and you're being safe, but you're not getting that traction, and it just becomes this boiling point where you just get frustrated and you just forget about it one day, and you take a trade, and you know you shouldn't have, and that is what you want to avoid. The real goal is the balance. Trading is not about risking as little as possible, and it's not about risking as much as possible. It's about finding a right balance. I know people think that sentence is so like cliche, like, oh, duh, let's trade. Really sink your teeth into the idea and the mindset of trading is not about risking as little as possible, and it's not about risking as much as possible. It's about finding the right balance, because if you're risking these two things, protect your account and allow it to grow, if it only protects, it doesn't grow, and you eventually break discipline, right? So you need to find the balance of the fact that if I am going to grow the account, I have to have a little bit of that risk mentality. But you also need to have the counterbalance. Like, I need to find when days I need to risk, and then I need to risk little on days that I'm doing bad. So that's kind of like that, that yin and yang, that balance effect, because you technically in a world, in a way, you need a version of you that over leverage in the world. You also need a person in your mind. Your mindset needs to be have that. You know what? I'm going to risk this as possible, and you want that to be like a real ebb and flow. And me personally, I'm going to talk more in the video, but that comes on days where it's like, if it's 8:30 news, I know do better on those days. So then I'm tipping into my more, not I want to say over leverage, but like I'm trading a little more capital. If it's not 8:30 news, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't see my setup in XYZ. I'm leaning back more, right, to the side of I'm going to protect my capital, right? And having that yin yang effect is more important than because that way you're not just always over leveraging, and then always, you see how I'm tilting way to the right, tilting way to the left. I don't know if you see my screen, but like, you see I'm going like this, like all the way to the right is like you're not gaining no profits. All the way to the left, it only takes you one day to blow the count up, right? So you want just a small tilt, and then a small tilt, like a seesaw. I don't know, seesaw balance. I'm trying to explain it so you can mentally see how you should try to view this, and I think this is a perfect way of looking at it. How profitable traders approach risk. Profitable traders don't just blindly risk the same amount every time with a thought. They understand context. They know when the market conditions are clean, when the sales are high probability, when they're mentally sharp. And during those moments, they can be more confident in execution, not reckless, but intentional. And you want purposeful trades while you're trading, but you want meaningful impact. Not meaning you won't take a big loss or a significant loss. Say your risk is 350. There's nothing wrong with hitting 350 as long as you took a trade that was a good trade, right? And I'm literally talking to myself. Like, I'm really trying to put myself in my mindset, because I don't want to keep risking 150 or 250 across the week, right? I want to have days where I'm like, okay, I want to size up and take the more opportunity and try and lean more to that, right? That over here to that over leveraging. Well, not want to say over leveraging, but that side of risking a little bit more. And then conceal days where it's not news and stuff like that, back to the side, like Monday, no news, right? Conceal myself back to the days where it's like A, is no trade, or B, I'm going to risk less on this day. So that's how I'm trying to contextualize it in my mind. I got days that I have proof of data that I do better at and I do worse at. And I'm trying to contextualize that as my roadmap to then identify what days I can go big and what days I don't need to go big. Identifying A plus. Not every day is equal. Some days the market's clean, your setup is obvious, everything aligns. Other days the market's choppy, setups unclear, conditions are low quality. Your job is to recognize the difference, because your risk should reflect the quality of opportunity. I just said the exact same thing. You want the opportunity to reflect the quality, and that way it tells you what to do. So now I'm coming to the day being like, okay, if it shows me X, Y, and Z, this is how much I'm risking. If it shows me X, Y, and Z, this is how much I'm risking. If it shows me X, Y, and Z, I'm not taking a trade. And I'm allowing the market, you know what I'm saying? I think it's bad. Me personally, what I'm thinking is it's bad to set the goal, how much you're going to make that day, before the day even started, because you don't know what setup what probability or what from your trading plan, and what risk is going to be happening today. How can you say you're going to make $1,000, but you see you came into the trading day and you're only seeing B pluses, and your B pluses are only allowing you to risk 300 per trade, right? And you only taking one trade. That mathematically doesn't make any sense. You had this number, right, that you trying to catch that you're not ever going to get, because you have precaution yourself to not meet that goal because you don't see your A plus trade. So it's like allowing yourself to just be like, allowing to turn that idea of thinking is like, okay, allow myself to just come to the day, have the trading, all that good stuff, come to it, see it, and then I'm going to allow whatever the profit is going to be based around whatever the setup I saw and my risk gate, wherever that is applied to. So if I see A plus, that's going to be the goal. If it's 830 red, that's going to be my goal. If it's no news Monday, that automatically determines what kind of goal I'm going to be going for. Does that make sense? So I'm dictating the day off of what I'm the reflection of the grade or the quality of the trade before I even took the trade, even before I even saw it. You know what I'm saying? So I think having that in your back of your mind, having a game plan on how it's going to look, and not just having like, I'm finna make $1,000 a day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm finna make, $3,000 a day. It's like you don't, that you come into the market and just saying you X, Y, and Z, and you don't know what tool you're going to be using. You don't know what quality or trade you're going to be taking in the market. So, and you give yourself that mental pressure that you don't have to. Like, just come today, see what happens, and then we're going to go from there. The risk scaling mindset. Instead of using the same mindset every day, you develop a system like this: low quality day, lower risk; average day, no risk; high quality stuff, slightly higher risk. This is not emotional trading. This is not emotional trading. I had to tell myself this. This is not emotional trading. This is structured decision making, right? And this is why I was talking about coming today. If you are coming today, you're gonna make $1,000 a day, and for you to make $1,000, that's you having slightly higher risk. You just now low quality, higher risk. Average day, higher risk, to attain that goal that you just set mentally before you even got to the charts. That's what I'm saying. Set your goal around what chart or what trade that I'm taking. Right? If I come to today's low risk, all right, cool. I'm going for 150. You know what I'm saying? I'm going for a winning day. On top stuff, they got winning days. You hit $150. That could be a profit goal, and that it just accumulates as a one winning day. That could be your goal, right? Whatever the case may be, like however you do, you're just having something associated with this being your template, and not your emotions, your feelings, your idea of your calculation that I should make X, Y, and Z on this day, and you have no idea what is being presented to you, and it makes no sense. And you also get yourself in that mindset of like conditioning yourself to be like, I need to make this, and if I don't make this, I'm incomplete, I'm a failure. And or you're going to be like, oh, I need to overtrade to get to this, and it's just all these bad habits that really just if you just came to chart like this, you're good, you're gonna be solid. The analogy of the investor. Think about it as an investor. They don't invest the same amount for every opportunity. If something looks average, they invest cautiously. If something looks high quality, they invest more, not recklessly, but strategically. And trading is the same. Same thing with kind of investors. I think trading is basically investing. And it's saying just in the viewpoint of just an idea of just looking at a general perspective of the opportunity. You won't treat every opportunity the same, and you also won't go in with expectations what this opportunity is going to bring before you even know what this opportunity is. You see what I'm saying? So it's like this was kind of like a general viewpoint of looking at it. This discipline behind it. This only works if you stay disciplined, because increasing risk should never come from frustration, boredom, and patience. It should only come from clarity, structure, and proven setups. Frustration, boredom, and patience. I love how to set it, because when increasing risk, it should never come from frustration, boredom, and patience. Don't get to the point where it's like, okay, I can choose when I want to go big and go not. And you know what, this B plus, I'm going big on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know what, I'm feeling good about this B plus, this particular B plus. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a B plus, it's a B plus. Don't try to like overthink your own strategy that you set in the guardrails for, right? And that's why I think it comes from frustration, boredom, and patience. Comparison, right? You're trying to do X, Y, and Z because you're trying to compare yourself to somebody else, right? That emotions are affecting your data that you already set up for the day. Because I've done that before. I've said like, man, this is a B minus, but you know what? I'm going to use my slightly risk mindset on this B plus or this B minus, and I told myself if it's a B minus, it gets this risk. You know what I'm saying? Little things like that. You gotta be disciplined and conscious of yourself, because you will literally try to trick yourself and your mindset to be taking more trades, or taking, in that case, I just use that example, bad trades with the wrong risk, the things that you already said and set plan, just because you're feeling different today, just to allow your emotions come in play. So allow, again, clarity, structure, proven setups. That's what needs to be the source of how you control your process every single day. Number one, identify your sub quality. Know what makes trade. A plus, B sub, low quality. Number two, set risk tiers. A plus sub get 1.5, normal sub gets 1, low quality, no trade. However you want to do that, it doesn't matter. Track your performance. That's what matters also as well. See which subs actually perform best, then adjust accordingly. That's highly important, right? Be able to see what A plus is, normal trades and all that stuff. Like people are like, how I post not A plus trade? Why I know it's a B sub? If you're tracking your performance, you're going to see what days you're good at, what days you're not. You're going to see what subs you lose, what subs you don't, when you get in late and when you get early, and so you're gonna start tracking yourself, and then you're gonna then manipulate the data to your point of being like, okay, these days do good. This is what trades I do good at. I'm gonna use these A pluses. You know what I'm saying? You need your own data. So I even talked about this in so many different videos. Record yourself, screen record yourself in trading. Journal after the trade, journal how you feeling during the trade. Maybe you start feeling like, oh, every time I take a buy, make a buy model or sell model, I feel very confident about this trade. So maybe there's your A pluses or whatever the case may be, however you trade, right? Because it doesn't matter. It's not strategy. It's more of the idea of tracking your performance. Therefore, it then allowing the data to tell you what days, what times, what trades are going to be your A pluses, and not what you feel like on that day, and not what you feel like for that month, and not your emotions are taking over. Stay honest with yourself. Don't label every trade as a high quality just to risk more. That's what I'm saying. That B plus, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that. You gotta stay focused. You gotta be honest with yourself. This is where self-discipline matters. The real reason. The goal is not to trade more. The goal is not to risk more, right? The goal is not to risk more. Even though you are, the goal is still not to risk more. The goal is to align your risk with opportunity, because it's how accurate your growth is. Because that's how accounts grow your sustainability. So what all you trying to do is, necessarily, you are risking more, but that's not the goal. You are I'm not gonna say trade more, but you definitely are going to be risking more, but that's not the goal. It's just a byproduct of what you're looking at, the opportunity. So bad, I am risking more, but that's just because of the process, and I see this as an opportunity. It's A plus. Not necessarily I'm going into the mindset like I'm going to risk more every single day. You know what I'm saying? That's two different ways of looking at it, and it's two different. One's harmful, and one's the way that profitable traders are doing it. Final message: if you're too aggressive, you'll blow the account quickly. If you're too safe, you'll build frustration and eventually break your discipline. But if you can find that balance, you can give yourself the best chance to grow consistently. Because in trading, success doesn't come from extremes; it comes from control. I don't know how else to say it. You're back against the wall, and you're going to get to this point of frustration. If you're trading less capital and on every single trade, and I know how you feel because I've done it. I know people don't talk about that. Risking less, risking less, risking less, to way to overcome that. And I'm really overcoming it. I'm trying. I'm talking like I'm just talking, going through this in my accounts, right? The way that I'm getting out of it, the way that I'm my best way is putting one step forward is having a day that I associate more risk on, and then allowing that to be the judgment. Not just tell myself I need to risk more, because that's completely the opposite, right? And tell myself doing just like I'm formatted. You're risking more. That's just that byproduct of the opportunity of the day that you know and you have data that you are really good at, right? So you're just only taking season opportunity. And then the days that you're bad at, you're then de-risking yourself like you should be. De-risking yourself throughout the whole week, the whole month is not the ideal thing that you need to be doing. Yes, you will keep the account, but you're going to eventually blow up the account because you're going to be upset, or you're not becoming the trader you want to be. So literally put one step forward, risk a little bit more on days you know you're supposed to be, and then a little bit more, and then inch your way up there. And like I said, when I start feeling comfortable, and that's what I'm doing literally in real time with the accounts I have. So I hope this really helped. I hope you kind of get some more value, especially if you're even if you overtrade, right? You still may have some value in this as well. How you should process your overthinking, process your overtrading as well. Like I said, I'm getting into the coaching, so make sure I'm gonna have some links. If you want to coach, you want me to look at your trades, and we have a psychology talk and this conversation. That way I can be able to break down your trading, your ideas, your logic, your theory, and your data in real time. And that way we can have the conversation and have that and really get you on the right track. Make sure you go down the link. It should be in the description somewhere or the comment section. Check both. But that way, like I said, sign up. I'd love to work with you. But yeah, I just want to help more traders understand more of the psychology part than the strategy part. Psychology part, 20 times more important than strategy. Strategy, not important. I don't care what anybody say. You can trade any way you want to do it, and it doesn't matter. But that's it. I won't make the video too long. And yeah, see y'all in the next one.